talk about a subject that's really near and dear to my heart. I want to talk about headaches today. I call myself a migraine survivor, and I always want to knock on wood when I talk about headaches because headaches can be really, really, really debilitating. And I think so many people suffer from headaches, whether they're migraine headaches or cluster headaches or hormonal headaches or stress headaches or whatever the headaches are. I know that they are just super widespread and they really impact your life. For those of you out there like myself who have had migraine headaches, it's like, oh, shut the lights off. I need peace and quiet, and I mean silence. I would put something over my eyes. I would put earplugs in my ears. I would go into a cool, dark closet until my parents could get to me. Typically, when I was in college was when it was the worst for me, and bring me medication, which would then just knock me out cold for days and days. And I would miss days of college, and then I would miss life. And I think it's really, it's a hard one because figuring out what type of headache is difficult and then managing those headaches better is difficult. And in my world, in the functional medicine world, I don't want to manage headache. I want to prevent a headache from ever happening in the first place. And by preventing a headache, you have to figure out what is causing the headache. So how do we do that? Well, the first thing we do is we do hormone testing. We might test your blood sugar. We might test thyroid because one of the classic signs of hypothyroid is waking up every morning with a headache. So if you have a good mattress and you have a great pillow, and actually what you think might be great and what I think are great could be two different things. So it's really important to talk to somebody. Let them look at you, lay on a pillow. That's what I actually do with my patients, have them bring their pillows in. Or I just lay them on one of my pillows and ask them, is this what your pillow feels like? And usually they're like, no, I scrunch one up and I push another one underneath my pillow and I have three stacked high and then I throw one off the bed and then I have to grab another one. So it's important to really know and feel how you're sleeping and that your body's in that neutral position because that can also cause headaches. So that's a structural issue when we're talking about headaches. There can be hormone imbalances when we're talking about headaches, but I really feel like it's actually easier to prevent a headache than to stop a headache once it starts, because I have had patients and I myself have had headaches that have lasted for weeks and weeks where medication might take the edge off, but it doesn't ever fix it because I never knew what the underlying cause of my headaches were. And once I figured it out, which was hormone imbalance, female hormone imbalance. It was not, thankfully, thyroid. It was not blood sugar. It was not blood pressure, which is also another big one. And once we figured out what it was, then we can address it and really fix it. And we can do that with natural approaches, with chiropractic care. Acupuncture is fantastic. Dr. Matt, you would think they put the needles in here for my headache. It's interesting. He actually puts it on my arm. And you know what? Within a minute of him inserting the needles, that headache will go away. And as long as I'm laying there on the table, it stays away. And then typically, if I do it consistently along with massage therapy and chiropractic care and good supplements like magnesium, and you got to get the right form of magnesium because there's many, many different forms of magnesium, CoQ10, MigraLeaf. Those are some of the supplements that I typically recommend. And make sure that if you're taking medication for migraine headaches or any other medication, that we check and make sure that the supplements we're talking about are okay for you to take with that medication, because things like blood thinners really prevent us from giving you a more natural approach to different things. So it's important to know what you're taking medication-wise and how it will interact with supplements, because in the case of headaches, it absolutely can. There's lots of different things. Maybe there is a environmental issue. Maybe there's mold in your house. Maybe there's a lot of dust and you're allergic to dust. I actually had a case with a patient that she was having horrible headaches and horrible allergy kind of symptoms. And I realized that it was the floor. She was allergic to the floor, the wood floor. So we had done allergy testing and we had tested environmental allergies and seasonal allergies and grasses and trees, and realized that she was allergic to pine trees. And she said, Dr. Deb, my floors are made of pine. So she ripped all of the floors out and she feels so much better. And those headaches have gone away. And for those of you out there who have struggled with headaches, they are awful. They can be debilitating. So if we can get you onto a really good regimen, figure out, do you have an allergy to a food that's causing a headache? What's causing inflammation? Is your headache a migraine where you vasodilate, or is it a stress headache? where it vasoconstricts. You take a medication and it doesn't work, but the other one does. It tells us something depending on what kind of medication it is. So, I really think that testing the right way, figuring out, is it a food allergy? Is there inflammation present? Is there a seasonal allergy? Is it something in your home? Is it environmental? Is it something in your workplace? Is it the lights? Those fluorescent lights can trigger migraine headaches for a lot of people. And when we figure out the true cause and treat that and prevent these headaches, it's so much easier than chasing down the headache and figuring out what we need to do to stop it and fix it. Bridget just had a question for me. She says, what's wrong with just covering up my headache with aspirin or Tylenol? So in the short term, Bridget, it's not so bad to take a Tylenol here and there or to take an Advil here and there. However, those medications cause side effects. They can cause ulcers in your stomach. You can have bleeding in the stomach. It can thin your blood. You can bruise easier. There's all kinds of different things that can happen if you take medications long term. And medications were not really meant to be long term for the most part. So, do you want to take it? Do I take it sometimes, occasionally, if it's so bad and I can't see my patients? Yeah, I'll take maybe a Tylenol or an Advil or a Motrin here and there. But I don't take it long term, and I don't take a lot of it because I don't want to have the side effects. And, one of the biggest ones too, and I don't want to forget to mention this, is that it will really affect your microbiome, your gut, your flora, your belly, your tummy. I call it your fish tank with my patients, because medications really do. And when your immune system lives in that gut and there's a huge brain-gut axis connection with each other, you want to make sure that you're not damaging that gut. And I believe if you take one with a full stomach, with food, and not just take it all day, every day, and every single time you have a headache, then yeah, you can do it, but don't take too much of it. There are much more natural things that you can take: magnesium, white willow bark, which is actually what they make aspirin from. It's the natural form of it, which doesn't have all the side effects to it. Bromelain, things that bring down inflammation, boswellia, all of those great things can really, really help. CoQ10 can really, really help. And like I said, MigraRelief is a great product. There's different forms of it. If you do have migraine headaches, it's a great way to help with those headaches. So that was a really, really great question, Bridget. I hope I answered that question for you. But yeah, you want to make sure that you're not taking too many medications and too much of a medication for too long, because you don't want to damage your body and damage your gut moving forward so that you get permanent damage. So I hope that helps. You know what? We're getting to the end of our time together. So if you would like to email me, you can email me at feelbetter@lakepointwellnesscenter.com. You can go to my website at feelbetterhere.com, or you can give me a call at 770-974-5215. We can have a good old-fashioned conversation. Until next time, wishing you loads and loads of health and happiness. Bye-bye.